welcome to an analysis of the VARC sectional of EOM SNAP 3. The sectional had 15 questions, 1 marker. An ideal time to be devoted to this sectional would be about 10 to 11 minutes. The question types were a diverse set. A lot of them were vocab-based questions. There were 5 vocab-based questions, 1 asking you to choose the correct collective noun for the sentence, 3 sentences, 3 questions that can be termed as sentence completion again, with quite confusing words, and 1 question in which the correct spelling was to be chosen. There were a number of usage-based questions too. There was 1 question that expected you to identify the figure of speech from the sentence given, 3 questions that expected you to identify the meanings of the foreign words and phrases, 1 idiom and phrase. So 1 idiom, and you were to identify the meaning of the idiom as it was used in the given sentence, and 1 word usage based on the word tout. There was just 1 parajumble and 3 specific questions of grammar, which is 1 in error detection format and 2 in sentence correction format. The overall difficulty level can be said to be easy to moderate. What were the easy questions? Of course, question 2, 3, 4, and 13, that spelling question was a very easy one. So were the sentence completion questions that expected you to pick words like historic or the 2 blanks in the sentence. So the vocab-based, sentence completion was pretty all right. The 3 grammar questions were also quite easy because 1 expected you to identify the adjective, another expected you to identify the correct passive construction of a given sentence, and in another, you only had to identify the correct parallel structure. So fairly easy ones. Question 9, which was to identify the meaning of the phrase to cut corners, was also an easy one. What were the moderate questions? The question that expected you to identify the correct collective noun, especially to choose between orchestra, choir, and troop, was quite close and therefore can be termed moderate. The figure of speech, which is, understanding what an onomatopoeia is and to be able to identify that is not very easy. So were the foreign words and phrases, a word like canard. These are not very easy and commonly used ones. So if you ever come across them or are aware of them, then it becomes easy. Otherwise, yes, generally these questions can be termed moderate. So was the word usage one, because tout is, and the usage of tout is not a very commonly known one. The parajumble was a little tricky, can't call it very difficult, but an easy to moderate one because the links were there. It's just that you had to spend some time on it. So these were the moderate questions. There was no difficult question, as I said earlier. So how would you allocate time? Perhaps about 10 or 11 minutes that you take. Definitely pick the spelling question and the sentence completion because, they did not really involve very difficult vocabulary. Definitely pick the grammar questions because after having done the kind of questions, studied the kind of grammar questions that you have, this is not really very difficult. Parajumbles, you would take that. And maybe spend your time trying to figure out a couple of the idioms and phrases or the figure of speech and the foreign words questions. So perhaps try and pick a 2 or 3 there. Definitely 4, the 4 vocab-based questions, the 3 grammar and the 1 parajumble, which is 8 questions, is definitely, doable for all of you. Even the idioms question, that is to cut corners, was not a very difficult one. So 9 questions for sure. Perhaps you would be able to pick some others. So what we're looking at is being able to attempt a 10, 11 questions in about 10 minutes or maximum 11 minutes time. If you take about 11 questions, which is like 11 attempted, maybe 2 incorrect, you certainly look at a score of 8.5. Now, 8.5, therefore, can be considered a 98 percentile, especially when you look at the distribution of easy and moderate questions. Surely, being able to take 11 questions, taking about 3 or 4 of the moderate also is quite possible. So, a 98 percentile is at an 8.5, a score of 8.5, which is definitely higher than SNAP 2. Okay, which is definitely lower than SNAP 2. All right, SNAP 2 was on a higher level. The score was higher because the paper was easier. There were quite a few challenges in terms of the phrases, etc., here in this particular section. So 9.5, a score of 9.5 with 12 questions attempted, 2 incorrect, is certainly going to fetch you a 99 percentile. About 12.5 and above that, with 15 attempts and 2 incorrect, can be said to be a 100 percentile. A score of 7.5 with about 10 questions attempted and 2 incorrect can be said to be 95 percentile. A score of 6.5 with about 8 questions attempted and 1 incorrect can be said to be 90 percentile. A score of 5.75 with about 7 attempts and 1 incorrect can be said to be a 80 percentile. So this is all regarding the VARC cutoffs, the attempts and the expected score. Thank you so much.
Good evening and welcome to the 2021 EOM SNAP 3 analysis. This is Saurabh sir taking you through the quant section. Let's have a look at the topics that were included. For 20 questions, this was a very fair, very well distributed paper. Almost all the topics had one question each. From arithmetic, we had numbers, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, averages, mixtures, allegations, time work, time to distance, probability, progressions, and even permutation combination. One question each. Algebra had linear equations, logarithms, and functions, one each. One question in geometry, we had one question on trigonometry, 2 on mensuration, and 1 on coordinate geometry. And there was DI set, one set with 3 questions on DI. There was no difficult question, luckily. And out of these 20 questions, you can see that 13 were easy and 7 moderate. And luckily, I can sometimes feel like saying that, yes, out of these 13 easy, some were actually very easy. So 13 easy and 7 moderate questions. Let's have a look at the questions before we decide who should have done what attempts. Let's have a look at those questions now. And I'm going by the order of the paper. The first question was on permutation combination, an easy one. 10 identical red balls, 5 identical green balls. How many ways can you select 2? Any 2 balls can be selected. How many ways? Any 2 balls can be selected. Easy or maybe even very easy. See, these are the questions which you should not have missed in answering. The second question was on profit and loss. A very easy question. A shopkeeper is earning a profit of 20%. Due to lockdown, the cost price increases by 10% and the selling price decreases by 5%. Now, what will be the new profit percent? And then the question is, by what percent did the profit get decreased? So we had to find the decrease in the percentage decrease in the percentage profit. Percentage decrease in the profit, which not the percentage profit, but just the percentage decrease in the profit. Take any good number as your CP, some good starting, select a smart number, and then just get the answer. A very easy question. Now, what does it mean when I say easy, very easy, moderate? Some of you would see there were 60 minutes in the paper, 60 questions. 20 out of these were, 25 logical reasoning or reasoning, and 15 questions were of verbal. 15 verbal, 25 reasoning, and 20 quant questions. Now, on an average, if you can solve a question within a minute, I would call it easy. One question can be solved in a minute, that would be easy, or maybe less. If it is quite less, it would be very easy. But if it is on an average 1 minute per question, I'll call it easy. Maybe sometimes the concept can be difficult. Maybe sometimes it can be a bit lengthy question. Easy concept, but lengthy question, I'll still call it lengthy. I'll call it moderate because it will take more than a minute to solve. And of course, the problem is there are going to be some questions which you will read, spend some time, and leave those questions if they are a bit moderate or difficult. So that might not give you 60 answers within 60 minutes that way also, even if all 60 are easy. So I will call it an easy question if it is on an average 1 minute per question. So the first two were easy or very easy. The second was very easy. The third was a mensuration question, which word I'll take moderate. Moderate, just because some of you might still take a little more time. 100 percentiler, maybe for him, this was an easy question. Because there are people who have worked hard. There are people who remember things. 3 cubes with edges 6, 8, and 10 are melted and recast into a single cube. Maybe you will take 30 seconds to calculate what will be the edge of that single cube. I will answer more by my memory. So there are students who will answer this question more out of their memory rather than calculating. You remember the 3, 4, 5 right angle Pythagorean triplet? 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triplet, 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 square. Well, there's one more thing then, something which is surprisingly and in a very similar sequence. If you have, we call something a Pythagorean, solid Pythagorean triplet or quadruplet, it would be a 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 cube plus 4 cube plus 5 cube is 6 cube. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something which probably we cannot forget if we see it once. And 3, 4, 5, if you double, you get 6, 8, 10. So this is simply 6, 8, 10, 12. The single cube would have an edge 12. And what easiest thing do you want? You know the edge of the cube and you are asked what is the surface area. I'm putting it moderate just because a lot of people would have not remembered this. Anyway, this was a moderate question. Maybe 100 percentiler would have got this. If you are something in the top rank, maybe that sort of a person would have got this. Otherwise, this could have been avoided. Okay, if somebody avoided this question. The fourth question was on functions. Again, a very easy question. Functions is sometimes frightening. People leave it. That's what I keep saying. Do not ignore any chapter. Even functions can have a very easy question. See, this is a very easy question, not an easy question, very easy question. F of x is equal to x square plus 1 upon x square. All you're supposed to do is find f of 2 and f of 1 by 2 half. Find two values and get an answer. Just replace x as 2 and replace x as 1 by 2. And obviously, if you have learned a little bit, you know that both would be equal in this question. F of 2 would be the same as f of 1 upon 2. Find f of 2, double it, and you have an answer. This would not have taken more than maybe 30-40 seconds. That's why I'm saying this was a very easy question. And look, you don't even have to read 3, 4, 5 lines for this question, just half a line. So this was a very easy question that way. The next three were DI questions, data interpretations, questions 5, 6, 7. A chart was given with the number of workers in two companies for 6 years. Numbers were also written. The advantage was that the numbers were also written. You can see that it is 10, 15 for the first year, 2009. That second year, 2010 was 10, 20, 30, 2030. So numbers are also written. You don't have to try to guess those numbers. What more do you want? Now, the fifth question was a very easy question. Find out the ratio of the total number of workers company A in the years 2009, 10, and 12, and something very similar for company B, but in the years 10, 12, 14. Add those numbers and get a ratio. Very easy. Two more easy questions. The number of workers in company B in the year 2013 is what percent of the total number of workers in company B in all the years put together? This also could have been a bit very easy type, but maybe it will take a little more time in approximation. Just because of the length of solving, maybe it is an almost a minute because of the approximation. So yes, this could have been an easy question. Another last easy question, seventh. For which company and in which year was the percentage rise in the number of workers from the previous year the highest? Sometimes such a question can be a little lengthy in solving because you need to calculate all the percentages. But go by options. Go by options. And the best part was options were wonderful. Option 2 was a part of option 1. Option 4 was a part of option 3. So all you have to do was verify verify two numbers, two situations, and you would be able to know which is the correct answer. This could have been actually a little bit very easy if you went by options. Easy if you did actually solve it just from the graph. If you had no options and you were supposed to calculate the answer, that would be easy. But going by options would have been very easy for this question. The eighth question was a time, speed, distance question. I'm putting it at moderate because it would take a little more than a minute to solve. Maybe somebody is very strong in maths, quant, maybe this could have been done. A boat covers 60 kilometers upstream, 80 kilometers downstream in a total of 10 hours. Luckily, this situation has 0, 0, 0 in all the three, 60, 80, 10. You can eliminate that 0 and directly write an equation with 6, 8, and 1. And then, of course, you have the second situation, 50 kilometers upstream, 60 kilometers downstream in a total of 8 hours. I wouldn't advise dividing by 2. 50, 60, 80 have a 2 in common, but I would like to have that 0. Sometimes that 0 helps. It is good for health. Find the boat speed. So you have the boat speed V upstream, downstream, VU, and then solve very quickly. This is more to do because it is already given everything. This is more to do with linear equations rather than now time, speed, distance. Just frame 2 equations and solve them. But still moderate for the length of solving. The ninth was a linear equation question, an easy one. I would call this easy because it's not very easy, but easy because of the length of solving. Otherwise, this could have been a very easy question. 45 toffees are distributed among 4 people in such a way that S gets half of what P gets, Q gets 4/5 of what P and S get, and R gets 2/5 of the total. Now, that is what makes this question easy. R has got 2/5 of the total. Calculate 2/5 of 45, give it to R. Now, look at the video solution. I have mentioned a very good trick to solve such questions. Look at those video solutions. See how it can be solved probably less than a minute, in less than a minute time. So this was easy. Time and work. The 10th question was a moderate time and work question. Moderate because of the length, not because of the concept. 4 people can complete a work in the number of days mentioned. 2 of them start working together and work for 4 days. Now, the best part again, why am I putting it like this could have been easy, is that you can simply solve for those 2 people. They have worked for 4 days. Their times are given. Calculate their times, combined time from that. And you know that you can do it in AB upon A plus B days ways. If it is A and B, you do it as AB upon A plus B. So do that. And they work for 4 days. So you know what fraction of the work is done by them. Do it for same thing, product upon sum for the other 2. The other 2 would be P and S. Do it for them and then calculate it for the remaining amount of work. So do it the right way, even this would have been easy. So let's still call it moderate. Maybe somebody could have avoided this question. I would not be sad about avoiding this question. The 11th question was on a logarithm. Again, functions. Sometimes people are again frightened of logarithms. They keep saying, sir, can we avoid logarithm? Don't avoid a chapter. Look how easy it is. This can be done mentally. This question can be solved mentally. Half a line to read and mentally it can be done. The first root you have is a root 2. Root 2 raised to 2 would be 2. Then 2 raised to 2 would be 4, and 2 raised to 4 is 16. A square is 16 and A would be 4. This is easy. This is easy. Don't be frightened of such things. So that was the 11th question. Averages, there was an easy question. With bit of practice, you could have done this mentally. Ram and Shyam read some books. Their average is 6 more than the number of books read by Shyam and Ghanshyam. Then what is the difference between those books read by Ram and Ghanshyam? Quite easy. Maybe you write a few things, you'll still get an answer. And actually, I could have been tempted to say this was very easy, but I'm still calling it easy. Coordinate geometry, a moderate question. Sometimes such questions can be a bit lengthy. If the answer is not the best, the option, one of the options is not the best one, then something like this could become lengthy. You want to avoid such a question? Okay. But you should have given it one try. Now, a triangle with these 3 vertices is what type of a triangle? Is it an isosceles triangle, scalene triangle, equilateral triangle, or not such triangle is possible? The 4th option was no such triangle is possible, and that should give you a hint. Try for that. If it is that as an answer, it's a lottery for you. Otherwise, leave this question. Trying to find the lengths and compare those lengths and deciding whether it is an equilateral, isosceles, or scalene could become a bit lengthy for 60-minute test with 60 questions. But the 4th option was something which you can actually try within 10 seconds. You read this much, you have already invested time in reading that a triangle with these 3 vertices. You've looked at you've glanced at the options in half a second. It is worth spending 10 more seconds. No such triangle is possible because PQ and R were collinear. Just use the collinearity test. Just the collinearity test can be done almost mentally, and you would see that yes, such a triangle is not possible. The 14th question on numbers was very easy. Very easy because I expect you to remember such concepts. A 6-digit number of the form ABC is divisible by which of the following? And obviously the options were 7, 11, 13 and all of this. And it is all of this. You should have remembered something like this. ABC is ABC into 1001, and that's 7, 11, 13 all. So this question probably I would have expected somebody to solve within 10 seconds. Reading and clicking on next, everything within 10 seconds. Something like this, this is such an easy question. Provided you remember what is ABC. This is probably discussed in a classroom. Something like this cannot be mistaken. You cannot go wrong here. The next was a progressions question, the 15th. It was a moderate question. Moderate, if you're trying to solve it, maybe something like this might not have been discussed. Maybe something like this could have been there, avoided. Okay. But if somebody has a very good in quant, has a strength as quant, then this question should have been done. The sum of the first 10 terms is the same as the sum of the first 11 terms. Now 10 and 11 are consecutive numbers. This clearly tells you that the 11th term is 0. Otherwise, you should remember that if SA is equal to SB, SA plus B is 0. So the summation of the first 21 terms is 0. And that's the question. What is the sum of the first 21 terms? So this question should have been actually, this is moderate in terms of concept, easy in terms of answering out of memory. This should have been answered out of memory rather than solving. There was a trigonometry question, the 16th one. Again, many of you might say this is not easy, but this is easy. We must remember complementary angles, that the product of complementary angles of 10, 10 of complementary angles is always 1. 10, 1 and 10, 89 are reciprocals. So that the first and last will give you a product 1, the second and second last will give you a product 1, and so on. And in between you will have the middle term 1045, which is 1. So this is 1. You must have gone through such sequence. You must go through such sequences, because there are sequences where you have addition, sometimes multiplication like this. Most of the time in these sequences, the answer is either 0 or 1 or -1. One of the numbers in the product is 0, everything becomes 0. So 0 is the most common answer in such questions. This one has an answer 1, which is the next common. And sometimes you have an answer which is -1, because there are positive, negative terms. So try to just match these three. Is there a 0? Can I get a 0 as an answer? Is it all reciprocal because it is product? Will there everything cancel out, and will I have a 1, or will there be a -1? All you are supposed to do is think of this much at least. Yes, there can be difficult questions. I'm not talking about all. I'm saying just a few questions are easy. So this was that easy one. 17th question, simple interest, compound interest, easy. Simple interest for 2 years is given 12,000, which is 6,000 for 2 years each. Compound interest for the second year is 7,200. Very quickly, you would know what is the rate of interest and what can be the principal. Easy question. 18th question on mensuration was moderate. 5 equal cubes, each of sides are given 4 centimeters, are joined to form a cuboid. Find the total surface area. Not very, very difficult, not even difficult. Sometimes this could have been a bit moderate or easy question. But just because joining of cubes was there, maybe I'm putting it as moderate. Yes, if it was not 5 cubes, 6 cubes, then of course the answer is cannot be determined, because you don't know the way the cubes can be joined. But 5 is a prime number. You can only join them in one way to get a cuboid. So yes, okay, a moderate question. Probability question could be a little bit moderate, or maybe this could have been a bit difficult one. This might be called a bit difficult because of the concept. Not the length of solving, but the concept could make it a little bit difficult rather than moderate. There are 5 possible outcomes of an experiment. The outcome P3 is 3.5 times 7 by 2 is 3.5. 3.5 times as likely as each of the other remaining. As likely as each clearly indicates the other 4 are all equal. Find the probability of P3. So all the events are not equally likely. Just put 1, 1, 1, 1 as the others, the number of outcomes, possible number of outcomes of the others as 1, 1, 1, 1. This would be 3.5, and now find the probability. But knowing that how it is that the others can be taken as 1, that is what makes this a little moderate or difficult. And the last question was allegations and mixtures. Very easy, because the numbers were very much suitable. You have 80 liters of mixture. Milk and water is 3:2. You want 2:3. So how much water should be added? This must be done very, very, very fast. This was very easy. So I would say yes, there were 13 easy questions, 7 moderate, no difficult question. Now, how much how many questions and what time can be allocated. For somebody who has strength in quant, somebody who believes that, yes, I can pull along my score, I can get a higher score by ensuring that I get a better score in quant. My total score will be improved by my quant. Such a person with strength in quant should have answered all the easy 13 questions. And yes, 3 out of those 7 moderate. This is what I would expect. 16. And I would expect somewhere around 20 to 22 minutes. 20 to 22 minutes of time allocation. 20 minutes is ideal. 20 minutes, 20 questions, 20 minutes. One question, 1 minute. So you would be able to go through the entire test. So with that average, yes. But maybe we can have a little bit more. 22 minutes is okay. So for a strength in quant, I would expect, yes, 16 attempts in 22 maximum minutes, or maybe good enough in 20 minutes. For a person who believes that maybe my verbal is better, maybe my logic is better, I can pull my score with the help of verbal. So if the quant is a little bit okay, not too great, then also I would expect somebody to solve all the at least 10 easy questions out of those 13 easy ones. Do not solve any moderate question, solve only 10 easy questions. And yes, I would expect you to at least take somewhere around 15 minutes, 1.5 minutes per question on an average. If quant is not your strength, because it takes some time to read a question and decide that, yes, this is not to be done. Even to quit a question, you need to spend somewhere around 5, 7, 8 seconds. So let's take 1.5 on an average, 1.5 minutes, and 15 minutes of time could have been spent in quant. So for a person who wants to pull his quant, get a higher average in quant, higher score in quant, 16 should have been the minimum. And otherwise, at least 10. Everybody else should have got 10 attempts, 10 questions in quant. So this is the analysis of the quant section. Make sure that you understand your strengths, how to get a higher score when there is no sectional cutoff, how to pull the score with one section, get a higher score in one of the sections, which is your strength. So identify what is your strength. Within sections also identify what is your strength, which chapters are your strong ones, which are weaker ones, and make sure that you don't ignore any chapter. Don't ignore any chapter. So, well, that's it for the quant section. Work hard, stay safe.
Hi. So in this video, we'll be doing the analysis of the EOM SNAP 2021 third mock exam. And in that, we'll be analyzing the analytical and logical reasoning section. Now, in this analysis, we'll be going through the topic distribution, the question mapping, the expected attempts and the suggested time, and the expected scores. Let's see the topic distribution first. Okay, so if you see the 25 questions in this section, you will see that there were 2 questions based on syllogisms, 1 based on course of action, 1 implicit statement, 1 statement assumption. Okay, so you can see that these 5 are from the verbal reasoning section, and then we have blood relations, seating arrangement, coding decoding, clock, series, visual reasoning, calendars, directions, and circular arrangement. Okay, so you can find that there are total of 4 questions based on arrangement 2 and 2. Blood relations has 3 questions, series has 3, and directions has 3 as well. Okay, so these take up the distribution of the 25 questions in this section. Okay, now let's see the mapping, difficulty mapping of these 25 questions. From the verbal section, the 2 syllogism questions, we can say that they were easy. Okay, quite easily done if you know the basic things. After that, we had a course of action thing. This was also quite easily doable. Next one, this one was a difficult question. Okay, implicit statements. Okay, so this was a question involving telecom data, telecom companies. Now, this was a difficult question, and it would be best if students skipped this question, because this is a very time consuming question, and if you solve and attempt this question, you will waste a lot of time over here. Okay, so this was the trap question. The next one, statement assumption. This was a moderate level difficulty question. So if you know the basics and their basic applications, you could do this type of question, statement and assumption. Now moving on to the next one, that is a blood relation question. Okay, this is one of the 3 questions in blood relations. Okay, this was a very straightforward question. If you draw a family tree, this was very easy to do it. So this was a sitter, very easy question. The next thing, you have sitting arrangement questions. Okay, so you have 2 questions over here. Now you have to see the all conditions to be satisfied. So therefore the difficulty level is moderate. Okay, you have to cancel out the sitting arrangements where there was happening some contradiction. Okay, so there will be multiple cases and you have to cancel out a few cases because of contradiction. So therefore moderate level difficulty. But once you get the sitting arrangement, 2 questions can be done. So that is an advantage. Okay, so you can solve this. Now this is a bit more difficult than the previous blood relation questions. Okay, because of this symbolic and blood relation combination. So that's why we have given it a moderate level difficulty. If you do it carefully, you can get the answer quite straightforward as well. So again, draw the family tree over here and you will get the answer quite clearly. Next one, if drop is equal to 35, brand equal to 93, a very easy question. This is from coding and decoding. So you can say that this is a sitter. So you have to solve this. Okay, so very easy question. Next one, a clock that loses. So this is one of the 2 clock questions. Okay, now over here, this eventually comes out to a straightforward ratio, but you should know the concept that when will it show the correct time. Okay, so for that knowing of the concept, the difficulty level is moderate. Okay, because otherwise the calculation part is very easy, but you should know the concept. Next thing again, now this is a bit difficult because again you should know the concept. At what times do the hands of the clock meet between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock? This question depends on one simple concept, but if you don't know the concept, it becomes a very difficult question. Okay, again, even if you know the concept, you have to divide by 11, find out the quotient and remainder. That will give you the answer. Okay, next one, in a certain code carried. So again, another question based on coding and decoding. So if you follow the pattern, it is of moderate level difficulty. The same pattern, exact same pattern, is applicable for the given word as well, brownie. It also has the same number of alphabets. Okay, so very straightforward, coding and decoding. Next thing, what will be the next term? Okay, so this is a number series question. Now this is a difficult question because we get the answer by finding out difference 3 times. Okay, So it could be a bit time consuming as well. Okay. So because of the time factor along with the logic, it is a bit difficult question. Let's see the next one. Now visual reasoning question. So you have to find out the pattern. Quite a easy question. Okay, but visual reasoning, it is a bit tricky. So difficulty level, we have assigned it as moderate. Okay, so find the pattern and get the next figure. Okay, a very easy, straightforward question. Another visual reasoning question. Okay, so see here, you have to find the pattern again. Okay, now you have to find out the odd man out. So if you go from one figure to other figure, you will find a pattern, specific pattern, and that is not followed in one of these 5 figures, 1 2 3 4 5. So that becomes the answer. So again, finding the pattern is very important. Okay, let's see the next one. Now this is a question based on calendar. Now this is marked as difficult level question because of the time factor. Okay, so this might waste a lot of time on this question. Okay, so therefore we have assigned it as a difficult question. Otherwise, concept wise, it is quite simple. You have to count the number of odd days and then get the answer. Okay, now the next question based on directions. Once you know the directions, it is very simple. Okay, just follow his path current. Okay, and you will get the answer. Again, the application is basically on Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so you need to know the Pythagoras theorem as well as draw the figure correctly. Okay, next one, if X is father, Y is paternal. Okay, so this is the third question based on blood relations. Now this is marked as difficult because many students mark the answer immediately after taking into consideration only one case. There are multiple cases in this question, and therefore you have to do it carefully. Okay, so therefore this is a difficult question. Next, we have the seating arrangement questions. Okay, so if you arrange the 7 people correctly, you get 2 questions correct. Okay, so this is a moderate level difficult questions, both of them. The next one, okay, again a series question. So now this is a straightforward, a very easy question, because if you know the squares, you will find and identify the pattern very easily. Okay, so if you know the squares, you will be able to easily get it. So therefore this is an easy question. Next question, another directions questions. Again, you have to draw the directions carefully. Okay, again it is a Pythagoras theorem and combination of directions and Pythagoras theorem. So moderate level difficult question. Next one, another number series. Now this is a bit different kind of logic. Okay, so therefore you should be able to identify the logic. So considering the logic and the time factor, it is a moderate level difficulty question. And then the last question, that is another directions question. Okay, so we have here again a similar directions question. So you have to follow the path of Rahul. Okay, draw the figure correctly. Now over here, there is no need of Pythagoras theorem at all, because we just have to find out in which direction is he running. Okay, but you have to be careful over here. He turns 45 degrees to his right and then again immediately takes a right turn. Okay, so due to these successive turns, it becomes a bit tricky, and therefore the question is a moderate level difficult question. Okay, so now total we had 6 easy questions, 14 moderate level questions, 5 difficult questions, total of 25 questions. So out of easy, out of 6 questions, 5 you should have expected attempts, it should be 5. Then out of 14 moderate level questions, expected attempts 11. And out of the 5 difficult questions, 2 should be attempted at least. Okay. Okay. So total we have 18 attempts out of 25. Okay. So considering accuracy of around 15 questions out of 18. Okay. So therefore 3 are wrong. So negative marking, considering negative marking, the score will be of 14.25. So around 14.25 will be a score of 98 percentile. Okay. Now the suggested time you should spend on this section is around 25 to 30 minutes. As this is a 60-minute test involving 60 questions and no sectional time limit, you can spend around 25 to 30 minutes on this section. Okay. So this is about it, the analysis of this section. 14.25 out of 25 should get you around 98%. Hi. So today we'll be doing the overall analysis of the SNAP 3, EOM SNAP 2021, the third exam. Okay. So now over here, we'll be compiling the scores of over the 3 sections, and we'll be predicting the percentiles at which you will get a call from the respective Symbiosis colleges. Okay, so let's see. Now over here, I have made a brief analysis like this. Okay, so if you get a score of around 34, that means you will get an approximate percentile of 98.5. You will be able to get a call from the best college available, that is SIBM Pune. Okay, so therefore your aim should be 98.5 plus, so that you get converted or at least get a call to the best college available, that is SIBM Pune. Now if you get a score of 31, you will be getting a percentile of approximately 97. And if you are interested in this college, SCM HRD, which is one of the best colleges in HR across the nation, you will be able to get a call. Okay. As we go further down the scores, okay, so if you get a score of around 24.25, your percentile will be between around 90 to 92, which will get you a call from SIIB, that is the International Business College. Okay, so a very good college again. Next thing, if you get a score of 23, you will be getting a call from SIBM Bangalore, which is a sub branch of the main branch SIBM Pune. Okay, so if you get a score of 23, the approximate percentile will be in the range of 88 to 90. Now, as we further go down the scores around 21.25, the percentile will be around 85. You will get call from SIOM. Okay. Now, further down 19 approximately, In this range, you have two colleges, the SIMS and SICSR. Okay, both the expected cutoffs are around 78 to 80. Okay, so you will be getting a call from these two. Okay, now total there are around 14, 15 colleges which are eligible for admission through SNAP. But these are the main colleges which have mm, analyzed and given an approximate cutoff. Okay, so now it is up to you to study further and increase your scores. Okay, so right now, if you are around here, you need to prepare more, revise more, and get a call from a better college. Okay, so that must be your aim. So that's what the mock tests are for. Okay, the better you prepare, the better your score would be, and eventually you will get your desired college. Okay, so that's it for the overall analysis. Okay, all the best. Thank you.